Hi everybody, it is July 2nd, 2019. It is the new moon week and I'm going to do a new lunar reading. I'm going to do the new moon cycle from July 2nd through July 9th, 2019 with a gift and a lesson crystal ally card, one unicorn message for the week, as well as I've pulled one crystal ally card for each of the astrological signs to give us extra support and information pertaining to our gift and lesson for the week. So this is a really big month. We're in Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancers. Today is it's eclipse season. We've got a solar and lunar eclipse this month. We've got Mercury going retrograde and it will be in Cancer. July 7th, he turns around. So there's a lot going on in the house of Cancer. Mars is in Leo. The physical body is fiery and wanting to get going. But what we're needing to look at this cycle with Cancer being the house of home, okay? Cancer is the healing house, the I feel house, governing health, protection, behind the seeds. It's ruled by the moon, the unconscious mind. So this month, a real message for us is self-care first, because we cannot service others in the world when we are not taking care of ourselves. So there's going to be, during this retrograde cycle where we're being asked to go within in the mind, it's to look at our inner selves, our healing, our love, our home, our inner sense of self. So for this new moon cycle, again, setting intentions. This is the beginning of a lunar cycle where we're setting our intentions for the month. We have the gift of growth. This is a water element card governed by the crystal green aventurine. So we are in the sign of Cancer. We had a lot of water element lessons last month moving into this month. So we're being given the gift of growth. We're being told that the universe has taken note of our hard work and are learning to work with water element, learning to go with the flow, learning to take the path of least resistance, learning to allow the egg that's ready to crack open as we set our new intentions for this month, to allow it now to come into form. This water element card is talking about, you know, this week, not trying to force anything to happen. We've done some work. Let this new intention assist, assist what you've already been doing. It's sort of an addition to what you've already been doing. But the gift message is with water element, allow this time of just reflecting within yourself. This is not an action week. This is a week to reflect and to not push things so that this growth can come into form. The lesson is beautiful. The cycles card. This is a wind element card. We actually have the lesson this first week of the lunar cycle of cycles. Understanding where we are in the cycle. The growth gift is saying, allow something new to come into form. Your ship has come in. This egg is ready to crack open and reveal something beautiful for this fairy. And the lesson is, where are you in your cycle? Well, we're at the new moon cycle. There's not a lot of light, so we got to allow this growth to come in. This moonstone is a beautiful wind element stone that you can work with and connect with and sit with in order to allow you to understand, what do you need to let go of to bring this growth in? It's probably, because this is a water element card and wind represents the mind and water element represents the heart. Wind is directive, water's receptive. We're being asked to let go of any belief systems, any perceptions that we're not worthy to receive this growth this week, so that in this lunar cycle we can come out of it with this egg having cracked wide open and we have the manifestation of what we've been working on, okay? So from the 2nd to 9th, we are being gifted with water and being asked to work with wind, which when these two are together, this is about getting out of the mind and getting into the heart, allowing, honoring the cycle we're in. Do a water element ritual for your intention setting for this new cycle. What is it that you're wanting to allow yourself to receive? Okay, the unicorn card for the week, the oracle card, is flow. You can't ask, you can't make this up, and you can't ask for a better thing. So the unicorns are saying, they're reiterating, and you know, each of us, for each house, we're going to get another specific ally to help us with what we need to do here. But for all of us, the unicorn energy is finding that path of least resistance, finding the easier path, surrendering to the outcome, because the growth card, the message of the growth card is always about, it's already there. This isn't about rushing around creating it now. You have to allow it in, okay? Release what you need to about expectations and allow this beautiful gift. Look at this card. Look at how beautiful this unicorn energy is. There's two of them there, and they are literally, they look like they're swimming in water. They're going with the flow. That this is the energy for the soul support for us this week from the 2nd to the 9th. Now I'm going to do 2 videos. The second video is going to be for the final 6 cards, because it's too difficult for me to do one long video, because it took me forever to upload my last one. So we're going to now go into the astrological houses, and I'm going to, I've already intuitively picked one for each house, additional information for us to assist us with the gift of growth, the lesson of cycles, and trusting and allowing the flow of all the joy, love, and abundance that the universe has for us. So we're going to start with the house of Aries. Aries is the first house, the house of I am, that alpha energy, that creative spark. It's the fire cardinal sign, okay? Cardinal energies, cardinal is the startup energy. Aries is ruled by Mars. It's masculine. It's about the body, the action. So it's very fiery. And Aries received the wisdom card. So Aries, you're being asked to take this lesson of cycles, all right? Because this is a wind element card governed by apophyllite. So during this new moon, Aries, you're being asked to, during this growth period, during this time of going with the flow, understand that knowledge in the mind only turns into wisdom when you reflect on your life experiences and understand the lessons and allow yourself to integrate them into your body. Learn through that wisdom, right? It's about life lessons. Wisdom is really about learning what it was you needed to learn, not just reading knowledge and keeping it up in your head, because we have to use wisdom in our life. And you have it, all right? Because you're very creative, you're very expressive, you love to take action. And this Cancer month might be challenging for a fire element Aries, because you want to act. But you're being asked this week to draw on your wisdom, your higher self. What has not worked for you in the past, let that go. Integrate it into yourself and allow yourself to flow this week. Allow yourself to release those belief systems that have been holding you back. The second card is the house of Taurus. This is earth element, and Taurus is the fixed energy. This is the steadfast energy, the grounded energy, and it's the house of I have. It's the house of form. You know, Aries was the spark that jumped from the collective into I'll go first, and they were here. And then the next house was, but who am I? Well, I have form. Taurus represents that grounded, stable energy. What you value, it's feminine, ruled by Venus, and it's about luxury, what you value in the world, and very physical, very earthy. Taurus, you received the action card. So Taurus, you're an earth element sign, and in this time of water element growth, with the lesson of cycles and the flow oracle from the unicorns, you're being asked to take action. All right, because this is a fire element card governed by carnelian. So with you guys this week, you're feeling a fire-water polarity. How do I act? Because this being has to jump across this ravine. He doesn't know if he's going to make it to the other side and fall in the water. He might make it, he might not, but he has to act. So the message for you is act from the heart. Take that action only from after having you have sat with yourself in silence, in some sacred space. Really, is it what your heart truly desires? Because it is still about water element this week and going with the flow. Maybe you need to take some action, Taurus, on self-care, self-soothing. Like I discussed with Cancer, it's all about inner healing and the self. Taking care of our inner self. You know, the crab has his little house of protection. So the action you're being asked to take is really internal in order to move into that next cycle with the first quarter moon. Now we're moving into the house of Gemini, the I talk house. It's an air sign. It is a mutable energy. So mutable is flowing and moving. We have fixed, we have cardinal, and we have mutable. And there's each of the 4 elements of earth, fire, water, and air have one sign that governs fixed, cardinal, and mutable. So this is the mutable wind or air element. Governs thoughts, ideas, communication. It's ruled by Mercury, the mind, and Mercury is going to be going retrograde July 7th and going back into Cancer after having just moved into Leo. So, you know, the mind underwater, the mind having to align with the heart. So Gemini, you got a wind element. You have supportive wind element energy this month, this week, I apologize. This lunar cycle from the 2nd to the 9th, the insight card. This is governed by azurite. And you can see she has this beautiful, beautiful azurite stone at her third eye. She has the protection of the evil eye at her eye here. So the insight card is about being able to, with this water and with your strong mind and wanting to logically think about everything, no, it's not going to work for you. You have to feel below the surface. You have to see what's going on below the surface. It may be with your communication and your relationships. It may be with your mind. It may be a specific thing. Something this week is not what it seems. It's not what people are presenting to you this week is not what it seems. You are going to have to trust your gut, trust your intuition and your inner self, and see and feel below the surface and trust what's being told to you this week. So with the new moon, there's not a lot of light, right? It's not like with the full moon. So it's already, just the beginning. You need to look below the surface, feel below the surface in order to navigate through and use that insight to bring in this growth. Use that insight to let go of whatever you need. There's something within your life, Gemini, that has to go, and it's going to be revealed to you this week. So then we're moving into the 4th house, the house of Cancer. This is Cancer's beautiful birthday month. Happy birthday, all Cancers. This is the I feel house, right? It is a water element, and it's the cardinal water element energy, that startup water element energy. So it represents home, health, protection, all the things behind the scenes. It's ruled by the moon. It represents the unconscious mind and that bigger part of us within. And there's a lot going on in Cancer this month. So Cancer, your card is acceptance. So you got supportive water element in your house for this first week. So if we backtrack, we have fire and wind. The fire element of Aries got stimulating wind element, okay? Because fire needs air to breathe. Earth got stimulating fire. Gemini, air, got supportive wind element. And now Cancers, you're getting supportive water element this week, the acceptance card. So for you, working with the beautiful stone lepidolite would be amazing in order to set your intentions and allow this growth and this flow. Go with the flow. Accept what is. Don't fight what's going on. Whatever it is you feel within yourself, because you're the most sensitive sign and you get very sensitive during, you know, you can listen to your body. You can feel what's going on with your body, and it's important for you to let go and trust and accept what's going on. It doesn't mean nothing's going to change. It's only by letting go and letting God, letting go and allowing what needs to move out in order for this new growth to come in. Accept your gifts of your empathic, kinesthetic, and intuitive abilities, your healing abilities. Accept that. Accept whatever's going on and understand that through that heart-centered love, that this lepidolite is literally being carried by the water, Cancer. You are the crab with your beautiful little hard shell protecting you from your sensitivities, but it's time for you to accept your sensitivity and vulnerability as a gift, all right? Moving into the next sign, the house of Leo, fixed fire element sign. The sign of fun, joy, leadership, creative expression. It's the house of I create, and it governs children. It governs pleasure, and it's ruled by the sun, okay? And here we have for Leo, storm element. So storm element is always, always not only stimulating, but it signifies transformation and change has to occur, or transformation and change is going to occur, whether you want it or not, or transformation and change, you're already in it. So if any of you Leos are feeling like something's falling apart, storm element is saying to you with this card, because the key word on it is transcendence, it's governed by diamond, that whatever storm comes during this week, whatever you can't see right now and flies in, you have what it takes to handle the heat, Leo. You are fire element. Yes, water is hard for you sometimes. Let go and go with the flow. Allow the storm to flow through, to go move through, because the calm is what comes after the storm, and you're transcending. This being has already gone through the transcendence, and this angel is not saving and rescuing them. This angel is saying, you're now where I am. You've aligned up. You've transcended. You've survived this eruption of the volcano and this intense heat and pressure, just like limestone transcends into a diamond, right? So that's your message for this new moon cycle. And the transcendence, the transformation that needs to take place is very likely in water element or wind element, heart and mind, the coming together of heart and mind, Leo. Moving into the next house of, I'm just going to do the whole thing, I decided, and keep it as one. Moving into the next house of Virgo, the mutable earth element sign. This Virgo governs the body, the physical systems, integration. It's such a huge thing. Virgo is the I process house, all right? It governs the health of the body, processing systems, and not just the body, processing information, because it's ruled by Mercury too. So there is that mind-body experience with Virgo. And you have received another storm element card. So Leo's in storm, and so is Virgo. Virgo, you're being asked to transform by connecting to your guides, to source, to angels, to your higher self, and allowing the bridges that are broken, burned, and can't be mended to leave. But through this storm process, there's probably going to be a knitting together of some bridges that might have seemed broken and unrepairable, but a coming together. This is represented by the stone kyanite, and the transformation and change through this is is talking about you being able to knit together disparate aspects of self. You're the house of process. You're the house of integration. So it's about you moving up to, again, because this card often talks about new guides coming in or a deeper connection of spiritual guides. It's also a card that can talk about love coming in. Maybe what's coming in and a coming together will be a love relationship. You have the gift of growth. You have the lesson of cycles. What do you need to let go of to connect together something that has been broken in your life? Maybe, like I said, one or two bridges can't be repaired. That's fine. Let them flow. Let them go. There's always a new bridge to cross. And then we are moving into the sign of Libra, the cardinal air sign. Libra represents the mirrored consciousness, and it's the I reflect house. It represents relationship, balance, and harmony, how you operate in the world, inner creativity. It is ruled by Venus, just as Taurus is. And Libra is the only sign that is not represented by an animate object. It's represented by the scales, balance, justice. And Libra, you received the receptive power card. This used to be called the female power card in the old Crystal Ally deck, governed by Cuprite. Personally, I prefer female power than receptive power, only because it just resonates more deeply with me, because we all have receptive female power and we all have directive male power. And this is a beautiful complementary card to go with Libra, because your Libra is ruled by the moon, and the Cuprite card of receptive power is about all that deep, watery, dark, divine, feminine energy we all carry within ourselves. And this message for you, Libra, this week is definitely get out of your head. You have some creation that's ready to come out from deep within yourself, from almost beyond the void. Allow the growth of it. Allow yourself to trust what's going on within you, because this is only a week reading, but this could be a creative spark that shows itself months away. It could be writing. It could be even some of you could be getting pregnant and birthing a baby down the road. This is a card of also exploring the shadow self. So you are the mirrored consciousness, and we are in that house of Cancer, the house of healing. So don't be afraid of your shadow self. What you feel is the darkness within you, or the aspects of yourself you don't like. Allow that to release the shame, blame game. Give yourself a lot of love and compassion, because some of you, this could be about pulling creation out of yourselves, and some of you, it could be talking about this week with this new moon, allowing yourself to give yourself love and compassion to those perceived aspects of self you don't want to look at. Because with Cancer and with this Mercury going retrograde, Libra, this could very well be about this through this eclipse season, just being able to explore and look at the shadow self. It doesn't mean you have to fall apart at all. It's all about love and compassion. It's all about self-care, self-nurturing. There isn't anything you could think or say or do that would stop the divine from loving you. And also, we were gifted with all aspect of self from the divine at creation. So our shadow self is not of the divine and of source. Moving into Scorpio. Scorpio is the house of I transform. It is the house of death, rebirth, transformation, sex, money, and taxes. Okay? It is the fixed water element sign, and it's ruled by Pluto. It used to be ruled by Mars, but now Mars is ruled by Aries. So Pluto is the ruler of the underworld. Scorpio also is sort of our relationship to power and authority and the shadow self, all right? So Scorpio knows how to dive deep into this deep, watery darkness within and be very comfortable there and and bring light into the dark, right? It's about bringing that light into the dark and balancing it. And Libra, going back to Libra, you know how to do this. You are the house of the mirrored consciousness. So Scorpio, you received the Manifest Light card for this first week of the lunar cycle. This is an earth element card, and earth calms water. So if you're feeling waterlogged in this Cancer cycle with all this water going on and your emotions are getting the best of you, ground yourself. Hematite would be an amazing stone to work with this week. Hematite is the highest evolved earth element stone currently on the planet. And this Manifest Light card is talking about Scorpio, you setting your intentions, allowing that growth to come in and bringing it into physicality, transforming, letting go of what needs to let go in your cycle so that you can be your highest potential on the earth plane, to experience joy and fun, to understand we are here in physical form to express ourselves, to not just, because Scorpios are extremely psychic and intuitive, they're great healers. A lot of people are drawn to Scorpio because of their transformative gifts, and that's awesome. But Scorpio, we have to remember, and I'm a Scorpio, so I get this. We have to remember we're intense, and sometimes we have to connect with earth element, ground ourselves, and understand that we are here for expression. We are here for fun. We are here for play. We are here for joy. We are here to actually manifest and do manifesting and do creating, not just have it in our heads, okay? We move next into the house of Sagittarius, the house of I perceive. Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's the mutable fire sign, and it is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the great expander, abundance, fortune. Sagittarius represents higher learning, expanding knowledge, truth, seeking truth, laws and courts, as well as exploration and movement. So Sagittarius, you received the wind element card of self-knowledge. Now, wind helps to calm fire. So you've got the element of wind coming in this week to help calm that fiery aspect of self, and because you're being asked to go with the flow this week, to, not be running around acting, to be really going within. And your message is self-knowledge. This is governed by lapis lazuli, and this is asking you to really look at where you are in your cycle this week with anything that needs to shed, to take a moment to see, have you learned from your lessons, right? Because the self-knowledge message is telling you you're the seeker of higher truth, and you have it all within yourself. You don't need to run around. You need to allow. You need to allow it to come to you from within, because that's how we clear karma. We don't need to keep writing the same exam over and over and over. This is a message for you that if you can go with the flow and release what needs to release, with this self-knowledge gift, with this self-knowledge ally this week, you're able to clear some karma and move forward in some way. We move next into the house of Capricorn. This is the I choose house, okay? It represents higher consciousness. It's earth element, the cardinal startup energy of earth. It represents evolution, completing the task, work, career, public display, legacy. It's ruled by Saturn, the great teacher. And I like to talk about the dance that Jupiter and Saturn do, because Jupiter's the great expander and Saturn is the great teacher. So they kind of represent the expansion and contraction that we need to have in balance in our life. Jupiter wants to give us everything, but we're not always quite ready to receive it. So Saturn helps us to learn how to climb to our higher consciousness in order to receive what we are being, what we are truly ready to receive. It's a matter of us in our bodies physically understanding and learning the lessons we need to learn in order to receive. So you're being gifted with the extra message of the higher self card this week, Capricorn. So it's governed by the beautiful stone selenite, and you see this image, the body, the higher self above the body, and they're in total connection. His crown is wide open. He's connected to his higher self in this pillar of selenite. So the message for you, more than talking to guides and angels, is connecting and aligning with your higher self in order to allow this growth in Capricorn. Stop climbing the mountain for a minute, take a breath, meditate, connect with your inner self. The higher self for me represents the pilot of our soul. The higher self knows everything the soul wants. And if we aren't connected with higher self, how can we walk on our path? So very important for you to take some time to calm that fire. And to sit and calm and connect with higher source in order to allow this growth to come in this week. And the next house is the house of Aquarius. It is the fixed air sign. Aquarius is the house of I know, and it represents community, external work, groups, social activities, small circles of friends, and large social groups. Aquarius is the wanderer of the galaxy, and it's ruled by Uranus, the great awakener. Uranus is really the higher octane of the mind, okay? Mercury is more the lower octane of the mind. It represents a desire to break free. And Aquarius, you received the gift of compassion this week. The water element card of compassion. Water calms wind, and it's governed by the stone Udalite. So you're being asked to really, this week, first and foremost, be compassionate with self. Let go of the old stories you're telling yourself, anything you're beating up with on yourself. Put yourself in someone else's shoes this week. If someone's connecting with you, reaching out to you, or if they're annoying you, take a breath, take a moment to get into the heart and say to yourself, what would I do if I were in their shoes? And that doesn't mean you have to give advice and save the world. It means just holding that space of love and compassion first and foremost for self and for others, because it's through that state of empathy that we know what action to take. Sometimes it's not taking anything. Sometimes it's just that state of love and compassion and silently, not even telling someone anything. Sometimes through this act of compassion, you will take action to assist someone in some way. It could be giving them money. It could be telling someone I love you. It could be just holding someone's hand. It could be a numerous things. But the highest form of compassion is when we've elevated to such a state that we understand that all negative experience, all judgment is an illusion, that we're all one. And Aquarius, you're the house of community, so it's important for you to align with this message of compassion, allowing this growth to come in, allowing yourself to go with the flow, releasing whatever needs to be released. Both the cycles, this cycles card is also a very karmic card, like the self-knowledge card, because we keep repeating the same karmic cycles until we've learned what it's come in to show us and teach us, right? But we can clear karma, and karma is not a negative thing. Give yourself a break this week. A lot of self-care this week. We're moving into the final house, the house of Pisces, the house of I believe. This is the collective consciousness. This is the mutable water element sign. It represents the invisible, dreamy, sleepy, spiritual world, the void. It is ruled by Neptune, and I do want to say Neptune is the higher octave of love, just like Venus is more, I don't like to say lower, but it is the even higher fifth dimensional, fifth consciousness aspect of love. But there's a lot of fog with Neptune, and there's a lot of fog when we're connected there. If we're not aligned, sometimes we feel cloudy, and it's also the house of escapism, addiction, and stuff like that. So Pisces, you received the storm element card of wholeness. This is governed by turquoise, right? And there is always, you're the house of wholeness, the house of unity, the house of all it is, the house of that I believe in spiritual connection. So you understand on a soul level, Pisces, that when storm comes in and blows through, of course we're going to come through it and be able to let go of what needs to be left behind from the storm and pick up the pieces that we want to take with us to become whole again and move forward. So through this gift of growth, and especially releasing this karmic aspect, you're being guaranteed, because this is the one storm element that is more about after the storm than many of the other ones, all right? This is more a guarantee from the universe that the storm has come through and you are picking up the pieces now, and wholeness is assured for you. If you can allow yourself in this beautiful new moon cycle, setting your intentions for growth, for going with the flow, and for releasing some karma, especially old perceptions and belief systems, things that are holding you back. Give yourself a break if you're feeling that intense escapism rather than the spiritual side of yourself. Remember what I said. All aspects of self are divine, all right? And this card is talking about after death, rebirth. It's got the snake eating its tail around the turquoise, that symbol. So wholeness is assured for you, Pisces, this week. So I hope you enjoyed this first week of the lunar cycle, this new moon week of in Cancer. You know, the moon moves around every 2.5 days, but it's the Cancer new moon, and Cancers, remember, the new moon is like your new year. Any Cancers, this is your one new moon for the year, so set your intentions. Listen to this message of acceptance again and have at it and enjoy this beautiful watery month we're in. All my love. And if you want a private reading, you can contact me below, or you can email me, crystalpathoflight@gmail.com, or DM me on Facebook or Instagram. It's all there. Thank you. All my love.